now. So greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Yaz. I'm Executive Vice President Gold in my econ and here to help you simplify the science of personal financial empowerment. Very excited today. We have a special guest, one of our own team members, who's going to be talking to us about cryptocurrency. So hopefully everyone has received a copy of the form, the worksheet that we're going to be working on. Did anyone not receive that? All right.
Yes.
We got it. Okay, well, good things. So we're going to get started with that very soon. Just in terms of quick announcements, if you have not completed your W-9 form, you want to make sure you do that as soon as possible. I did get a little bit of information for us. So if you have signed up as like a husband and wife team under one person's account and then you just listed as spouse, meaning that you guys are only paying one set of $34.95 per month, then when you fill out your W-9 form, you want to put that as a sole proprietorship. Do not put it as a partnership. Go ahead and put it down as a sole proprietorship because the second person on the account did not put their social security number in. So I did get clarification on that. So make sure you guys take care of all of that. We definitely have some upcoming cash flow conferences and Game Changer. And honestly, the magic happens when you attend these live events. You get an opportunity to network with everybody within my econ from literally all over the country. Now, this call is all over the country too, which is pretty phenomenal. But being able to touch people and being in that same space is amazing. Having, 72 hours of interaction and training and learning, and the meeting after the meeting, which tends to get so deep and get very personal so that you can get the information that you really need, is very powerful. Being able to sit down with leaders in the company, even the co-founders will often be at these events. Being able to sit down with them and learn from them is phenomenal. And so you can definitely take pictures and be like posting pictures with the 700 million now dollar man, and between the two co-founders, $1 billion that we're looking at with them, they have earned over their business span lifetime. So it's definitely phenomenal to be able to network with them, learn from them, and be around them. So make sure you're checking your back office under meetings and then under cash flow conferences to find out what is going on. Also, make sure that you have my econ under your See First list for Facebook, because often some of these meetings will be posted there and won't have been posted in the back offices yet. Game Changer is one of those. So Game Changer is not an official, quote unquote, my econ event, but is rather an event hosted by Extra Digit Movement and Brian Bean. And so he gets to go off script a little bit with that. But Game Changer is definitely a phenomenal opportunity. So we are looking at the third weekend in October. And you want to jump on www.gamechangeratl.com. So www.gamechanger, CHANGERATL.com for registration. Prices will be going up here shortly, so you want to go ahead and lock in at this $129 registration versus having to pay $199. So nobody wants to have to do that. Okay. Does anyone have any announcements, questions, or concerns at this time? Okay, cool to the beans. Next week, we will have a guest on, Mr. Kevin Young. He is out of Little Rock, Arkansas, and is the co-founder of the One More movement there. He is going to be talking to us. So he formerly worked for the Social Security Administration, and he's going to be doing an internal call just for us to answer any questions we may have as it relates to Social Security, sponsoring individuals who may be getting different types of Social Security benefits, those retirees that we want to join our team, really helping us so that we're more educated as we expand out to our older audience as well. Then we will be hosting, we'll be setting a date to host a Facebook Live webinar between him and I. so that we can start recruiting and sponsoring more of our senior family, because more and more people are retiring every single day. And this is a group and audience that we do not want to ignore. We know so many people that will go into retirement and within 1 to 2 years will be semi-retired or out of retirement and having to work either full-time or part-time. And so we recognize that they need this information just as much as anyone else, but often are very afraid because they are receiving other types of benefits from the government. So we want to, get rid of some of those myths that are out there, erase some of those fears, and just be completely honest. This is what Kevin, he does, and he's worked for Social Security for many years. He's not working with them anymore, but he definitely can still serve as an expert. So we want to have our internal call next week, and then we will be letting everyone know when we will have that live webinar. And it'll be a recruitment business presentation, but focused on our senior audience. Any questions about that? Nope. We are good. All right. Well, then let's go ahead and get to the man of the hour. So it is my pleasure and honor to introduce Jade Everett to all of you. He is a marketing director here in my econ, has been in the company for a couple months now. And we have recently started doing his orientation calls and getting things ready. And one of the things that I was super excited to learn about a couple weeks ago was that he is enthralled and very excited about cryptocurrency, is constantly studying it, and is able to bring his expertise to us. And so we know that this is a big thing that we're hearing a lot about. We're hearing about Bitcoin and Litecoin and all these other things. And so he's here, and we're going to be doing a series with this in terms of just learning more and more about cryptocurrency as a potential way for us to start earning additional money, how we can invest in cryptocurrency. So he's going to be bringing that to us. So he is our King Kong of cryptocurrency on our team. Wait, but he's a Kappa, so maybe he doesn't want to be equated to a gorilla. I'll have to figure that one out. But definitely is a genius in his right, engineering background, just has the true heart of gold, is working on a nonprofit that he's going to be utilizing my econ for. So truly a great, wonderful person to have on our team. So it is my honor and pleasure to introduce all of you to Jade Everett, and I will pass the mic.
Thank you, Dr. Yaz. That was such a great introduction. That made me feel all warm inside.
Oh, I'm glad.
But again, my name is Jade Everett Mayhorn. I live in Dallas, and just a bit of information on how I got into cryptocurrency. So last year, around this time, actually around July, August, I got into cryptocurrency. He introduced it to me. He bought Bitcoin at like $2,000-$3,000. So y'all seen where the price went. And so I took that from there. I deep dived into the information, and I just fell in love with the whole thing. And so just from my experiences, I bought at good times, I bought at bad times, and I bought even more at good times. I've been scammed by these multi-level marketing. So you have to be aware of all of these scammers, because this is unregulated territory. It's still new. It's like the internet back in 95. So have to be careful where you put your money. And I have found some avenues that I like, where I put my money. So been scammed a couple times, bought at good prices, bought Litecoin at $62 and I sold it at $240. So, I mean, it's really a lot of money to be made into this. I really I've been into this. And so I'm going to be going over a lot of information, and I have an ebook that I have written that I can send after this that'll give more information. So I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen, and we get started.
All right.
All right. Desktop. And can y'all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Let's get educated. Cryptocurrency 101. All right, what is the blockchain? So this is the underlying technology for Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. Each one has their own blockchain. And so a blockchain is an unhackable, immutable. That means nobody can change the data that's been stored. Nobody can steal it. Nobody can hack it. And so it's a digital ledger that records all the transactions in chronological order and publicly places them on the blockchain. And a blockchain and a digital ledger simply is like a piece of paper, but that's stored on the cloud. So it's pretty much saying if A sends B $500 worth of Bitcoin, then it will track that on the blockchain as a transaction. It's pretty much what banks do, except you have a middleman. Next, all the network information. Each cryptocurrency has nodes. Nodes are basically computers, and so all the network information is held on hundreds of thousands of computers. Hence, why it's decentralized. With Wells Fargo, all of their information is on one central platform that's easily to be hacked. And we've seen many examples of people's monies come up missing through these big financial engines because they're just a big target, pretty much. So I will go into explaining how the blockchain works. It's based off mathematical code, so it's not ran by humans; it's ran by math. So math doesn't lie. We don't have to trust nobody. We don't have to ask Wells Fargo to send anybody money. Long as A plus B equals C, and I'm using this as an example. The math is much more complicated, but I don't really feel like that's really important at this moment. But as long as A plus B equals C, the miners will confirm the transaction and it will be placed on the blockchain. Miners, for example, miners for Bitcoin. So whenever somebody sends, so person A sends person B Bitcoin, it must go through different computers for that transaction to go through. And once it goes through the computer does the work, and this is how the miners get paid. So I actually mine Bitcoin. So every time a transaction goes through, I get paid from that passively, and I don't have to do anything to get that money outside of occupy computer space. How powerful is that? So Bitcoin, the heck is that? So Bitcoin was created in 2008, around the same time as the last big financial crisis, by Satoshi Nakamoto and a team of code developers. As I was saying before, Bitcoin is the main cryptocurrency, the mainstream, the boss of all of them. And so it's based off of mathematical code, and math is the middleman. You don't need anybody to send any money or any data or anything besides math. And I think that's a very powerful technology to have our powers on, and I think it's very slept on. Next, there are 4 billion people globally that do not have access to banks. 4 billion. I want to emphasize that, because here in America and in Europe and all of these wealthy countries, nobody needs cryptocurrency. Nobody needs blockchain. This, like, we have at our fingertips. But people in Africa, Haiti, Cuba, Costa Rica, they don't have access to banks like we do. Bitcoin gives them a chance at wealth. And I want to be able to share this with them all over the world. And because the technology is so powerful, and we can see people in developing nations be able to have this chance at wealth. And I think that's important for the world. Next, we'll go into second generation cryptocurrency. The first generation is Bitcoin. Second generation is Ethereum. This is the game changer. This I'll let the information go into it. So Ethereum is similar to Bitcoin, but the difference is this has the smart contract feature. And a smart contract is a computer protocol intended to digitally facilitate and enforce the performance of a contract without a third party. A contract, things you use a contract for: lawyers, selling your house, selling your car, anything like that. And so you don't need an attorney. You don't need these third-party entities that are going to hit you over the head with their fees. Even if you want to do like day trading, they have they have these contracts where you can facilitate and be able to share information through there. So with Ethereum, you can change currency for the deed to your house, currency for the deed to your title, your car title, and currency for products or services. So we could sell products through the blockchain and get the money into your bank account within 10 minutes, because with the blockchain, the transactions go through so quickly. You know, say like you send money from Wells Fargo to somebody with Chase, takes at least 3 days. But with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and cryptocurrencies, most of them do it in under 10 minutes. Who wouldn't want their money for a product in under 10 minutes? I know I would. And so I think that so these are just the two that stood out more to me because of the capabilities. And so I like to just start off with these two. They go more and more in depth, and gets more complicated, and like with just the initial information. So okay. So now we can go over the cryptocurrency document if you guys have it next to you. So what is cryptocurrency? Electronic bartering. Back in the day, whenever people used to barter normally, somebody would have corn and then they would sell it for strawberries or for service or for anything. Then they started to use coins like gold and silver. And so, if people looking at it the same way how they look at cryptocurrencies today, whenever somebody was getting a service or selling their product, they're like, what are these coins? What can I use these for? And then we go into the evolution of the dollar. People started giving each other paper money. They were like, what the heck is this? And so then we started using credit cards, and that's when our money became digital already. And so we already have cryptocurrency in a sense. We have digital currency because all of our money is online. And so this is just the next evolution in the money, in the evolution of money. And so this isn't something that this is more for the up and coming generations, like your kids and your kids' kids and their kids' kids, and they will be the ones actually using this. We won't be able to use it like in Starbucks for a few years. So once it gets really mainstream, this is the early adopting stage. People still laugh at Bitcoin. People are still sleeping on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, which I think is a terrible mistake. And so the problem, people are tired of centralized banking. Governments control the money and its exchanges. So we can see that there's a problem there. So say like I wanted to do business in Africa. I wanted to go and grow food out there, and I wanted to go and send money through Wells Fargo. They say no. What can I do? Nothing. But with Bitcoin, I can send that money to them. Nobody can say anything. It goes right through. They get their money right on the spot within the 10 minutes. And I think that's huge. So some of the benefits of cryptocurrency is seamless and borderless. You can send money to anybody globally. Globally, I think that's huge. I want to emphasize that because that's one of the main benefits of this. You can't send money to somebody in Africa because they don't have a Wells Fargo account. They don't have a Chase account. They don't have Western Union for the most part. And so I think that this money is huge and is not tied to the US debt. Everybody gets their money, and I think that this is the safest place you could actually put your money, even more so than stocks, as crazy as it sounds. That's how I feel about it. And then it's driven by the supply and demand. I think that the technology to be able to send unlimited amounts of funds to somebody across the globe, I think that technology is worth millions, billions. I mean, how much would you put a price tag on that? And so it is driven by the supply and demand. And it's only increasing more and more each year. This cryptocurrency is getting bigger and bigger, and more people are actually hopping on the train. So, as we talked about before, what is blockchain? It's the technology that cryptocurrency is based off of. How is the blockchain important? It's a total paradigm shift, and I totally agree with this because it shapes the way that you think about the world. We have so many centralized entities that control our life, like the media, the government, politics. Everything is so centralized, and you can tell in the way that you can tell when you look outside and look at the world that that all of this stuff is stemming from these centralized entities. And so with this, you have a whole paradigm shift. You have decentralized money, you have decentralized information being shared, you have decentralized products, and nobody can control what anybody sends, what anybody receives. I think that's huge. And so as it says the dinosaurs are disappearing. Look at Kodak. You can see taxi. You can see the hotels. This is just the next evolution. You will be able to put Instagram on a blockchain, Uber on a blockchain, Airbnb on a blockchain, and it's decentralized. Even Instagram won't be able to control the data. Uber can't control the data. Airbnb can't control the data. The data is controlled by the people. It takes the power away from the top and gives it back to the people. I feel like this is the people's currency. This is something that we should hold on to because nobody owns it except for us. So we'll go up to what is Bitcoin and the other altcoins. So the currency that's been so Bitcoin is the currency that's been exchanged via the blockchain. This is the solution to banking and government. You know, it's like we can take a lot of our power back by not giving we vote and everything with our dollars. What we spend our dollars at is what we see in the world. And then you can see what we're putting our money into and how the world is responding to that. So we put our money into cryptocurrencies, I know we'll see a different change into the world. And so I like to personally think of Bitcoin as digital gold as well because it's scarce. It will only be 21 million Bitcoin ever in circulation. The transactions cannot be duplicated. They cannot be falsified. And so the gold market, so thinking about Bitcoin being the next digital gold, currently the gold's market cap is $7 trillion. At the moment, cryptocurrency is not 400 billion. It's actually even cheaper than that. It's actually 208 billion as of today. I just checked. So in 20 years, I believe that cryptocurrency can easily cover the gold market cap of $7 trillion. And based off the news and everything that I'm hearing, I'm seeing a $2 trillion market cap within the next 2 to 3 years. So I know I want to ride that wave. And so gold is centralized. They didn't find a way to capitalize and to hoard all the gold. And it's only a few entities that are even giving out gold for dollars. And I don't even think you can get gold at most banks. And so with cryptocurrencies, the market is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week globally. So that means anybody all over the world can invest in cryptocurrency. And the stock market is only open from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. So it gives so much room for people to want to do it at other times while other people are sleeping. The market is always moving. And so, yeah, I definitely think this is a great avenue to start to research. So layers of investing. So I currently, I do wholesale. I do a lot of retail investing. So a lot of my strategies is to buy while the prices are very low. And so I explained earlier where I bought Litecoin and Ethereum. So Litecoin is similar to Bitcoin. You're able to send currencies to you're able to send money to anybody globally, and it gets there within 10 minutes. And so I bought this cryptocurrency at $62. I sold it $220. And so it's all about finding the best deal. So we saw that Bitcoin and all of these currencies, they peaked at 20,000. And if you go through all the charts, we'll talk about this later, but for the past 10 years, the crypto market has did the same thing. It goes all the way up, and then it pops, and then it goes even higher, then it pops, then it goes even higher. And so like learning how the markets work is huge when it comes to this, and you can kind of get into technical analysis, and I like more so fundamental analysis as far as researching the companies, looking at the CEOs and the team, and see what are they trying to do with these projects, what goals are they trying to accomplish. And I like to really invest in the coins that put out news, that put out YouTube videos with the updates, so I can trust them. I can see their face. I know exactly where to go to if something happens. And so there's ways to keep the cryptocurrency safe. They have a Trezor wallet where I can store my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, Litecoin. They have 10 of them that I think will be the safest. That'll be the safest place where you can store it, because you can upload all your cryptocurrencies and then store it in a lock at your house, in a safe, under the ground. Nobody has access to it besides you. And so they have public and private keys where you have to keep that information to be able to send and receive to send and receive the cryptocurrency. And we'll talk about that later in other sessions. I know it's a lot of information that I'm giving, and it's I know it's a lot of info, so I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can. And I will go to the last slide that of the night. And so here are a few of the cryptocurrencies that I am invested in. I personally like EOS better than Ethereum. Ethereum costs $220 right now. EOS costs $5. So, and it solves some of the scalability issues that Ethereum has, because as the network gets more and more crowded, the Ethereum blockchain will slow down. And so EOS helps with those. And they have an additive built into the code that helps to fund new cryptocurrencies that are built on this blockchain. So EOS is its own blockchain. Like, you have the blockchain technology, the Bitcoin blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain, the EOS blockchain. And so this one has its own. And then with the money that they raise, they start to help other businesses to be able to be more successful, and they help them. So I think that's so helpful. Next, Cardano is pretty similar to Ethereum and EOS, and it solves a lot of more of those scalability issues. Like, so whenever you want to sell your house, you want to be able to sell your car, it'll be able to go quicker and with less issues as the network grows. And EOS and Cardano, they both have a YouTube presence. Charles Hopkins, he does the marketing for Cardano, and he goes all over the world and does presentations and gives his perspective on the whole cryptocurrency field and Cardano and where it's going. They're talking to governments in Africa. They're talking to governments in the places where I mentioned earlier. So they're hitting the target market. So so those are the ones that I'm looking for. Next, this is one of my favorite. It's called Substratum. It's decentralized internet. I like to call it Internet 3.0. So with this technology, Korea, China, places that have their information censored, they don't have access to many of the websites and the information that we have here because we have a quote unquote free market. But with this technology, they developed a software where you can tap into their blockchain and you can make passive income from this. So you can download the software on your computer. They're still in the testing phase. They put out YouTube videos with their progress. They're almost to the point to where they're able to start out with the passive income part. I'm still waiting on that. But with this technology, you're able to search any website, anything that you need to find globally. So it's borderless. Nobody can control it. And I feel like the more educated we are as a society, the better we'll be because we're not getting the education that we need, as we already know. So I think this one is a great one as well. And lastly, Icon, ICX. And they're all different. I just want to pull out different examples. So this one is a blockchain within a blockchain. And so this was started by 26 Korean companies looking to create an ecosystem to exchange their information. They have banks, hospitals, insurance companies, dentists that will all be using this blockchain. And so when I say a blockchain within a blockchain, each hospital, university, bank, they all have their own individual blockchain where they can store their information. But Icon has a feature to where each of those blockchains have access to the information in the main blockchain, so they can share information through it all. So for instance, you go to the hospital, you get your checkup, they bill you at the end, they say your bill is X amount. You're able to send that cryptocurrency to them. No, you're able to they're able to send your information to the insurance company. The insurance company is able to pay them. You're able to get your service all within this 10-minute period. How awesome is that? And so that will conclude our cryptocurrency one-on-one. I know it was a lot of information, and if you guys have any questions, I'm definitely open to going through them.
Wow.
Hi, Jamie. Oh,
Go ahead, Janine.
Jade Everett, that was awesome.
Thank you.
It reminds me of, I was looking at, I was on Craigslist, and you could pay for stuff on Craigslist with cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I've been fearful of it, even though I took $25 and opened a Bitcoin. So I have a .0000001 Bitcoin with my little $25.
That's
But
better. Here and there.
so I just jumped in, but I was thinking this really is something serious because even on Craigslist you could buy stuff with cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I,
it's more and more companies. It's big financial institutions that are getting into it, like Wells Fargo. As much noise as they talk, Microsoft. It's a lot of companies actually getting into it, and I keep up with the news from all over the world. I see what they talk about in Africa and China and North Korea, South Korea, Europe. So it's people getting into it. And so the time is really now, honestly, because honestly, y'all would get these cryptocurrencies at way better deals than I got them. Really. And and so like you were saying, like I personally wouldn't buy anything with crypto right now. Because that same $25 that you would be trying to buy something on Amazon with, in a year from now, that same $25 you paid for that product was $300. So I wouldn't even buy nothing right now. My strategy: buy very, very low, hold for a year or 2 years, and depending on how I like the coin, um, what it actually does, the benefits, and then that depends on how long I hold it. So I might hold it a year, I might hold it at 2 years, and I've only been in for a year, so I still have cryptocurrencies that I've been holding for a year now, and so there's really no point in holding it. So my ROI, what I believe the ROI is, the time frame is 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 years, you will be greatly rewarded because this technology is not going anywhere, regardless of what they say on the news, regardless of in the crypto community they call it FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And so, and a lot of these, they spread a lot of FUD, and we also call it FOMO. And so, fear of missing out. You know,
Mm.
they spread all of this FUD because they don't want to miss out. And then they're scaring us to not put our money into this. Just like they put a bad stigma on the stock market, on trading, on all of this. It's just the same thing. The markets work the same way, same technical analysis, same fundamental analysis, and I know it's not going anywhere.
Nice, nice, nice. I have a couple of questions for you. First of all, I'm super impressed with what you did. I just have to let everybody know, like I just sent over the worksheet to him with the answers. Didn't explain how Brian Bean explained all of this to us or anything like that. And you definitely did a phenomenal job. So super, super proud of you for that. But for those who are just, I mean, this is a one-on-one class. How do you actually open a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency account, or how do you invest? Like, how does that process actually work?
So you don't have to open up a Bitcoin account. Me personally, I like Trezor Wallet, and so TrezorWallet.io is a website where you can get a Trezor hardware wallet, and I think that is imperative for cryptocurrency. I wish I had it on me. I could show you, but it's like a little hard drive with a USB where you can put it onto your computer, and so once you have that, I like Binance, and I don't like Coinbase because they charge you a major fee to buy it. But I love cryptocurrency so much, so I don't care. Like, so they'll charge, so for $500 worth of Bitcoin, they might charge you 25 $30 for it, so you gonna really get 450 470 worth of it.
Mhm.
But that $30 is fine, they making their money. I get it, but the transaction fee to when you send it, that'll be fine. So you'll get all of the money from there. I personally, I like Binance. Once I send my cryptocurrency from Coinbase, I like to send it to Binance. And Binance, they have great security. I keep up with their news. I like their CEO. His name is Changpeng Zhao. He's an awesome dude. He wants to see the world how I want to see parts of the world, so I can connect on that level. And so I'm putting my trust into this exchange. It's not secure as the Trezor wallet, but they have great security. They have a two-factor authentication code. They have some really nifty things that keeps it relatively secure.
Okay.
And
So we go to TreasureWallet.io. and we get the thingy.
The
And
hard
then,
wallet.
and then from there we go to Coinbase or Binance to
Well,
actually.
Coinbase is is a US based exchange.
Okay.
And so they're US based, and so they'll keep up with all your tax info and all of that from there. But Binance is a Hong Kong exchange.
Okay.
And so I like having an offshore account. I don't want to have all my money in America. So I'm okay with it.
Okay, we are recording. Okay.
Okay. Well, but Binance, they have great security. They have all the coins that I mentioned on the last slide. They have the Icon, the Substratum. They have all the great coins, and I have many other ones. And so once we finish, I can send you guys more information. So I have a cryptocurrency Excel sheet that I created with learning videos, and it has some instructions on how to go to Coinbase, Binance, the address, the wallet. It got all the information there, the coins I'm invested in, what they do, and so it'll have all the information there. And I recently just finished my ebook on cryptocurrency. It's about 28 pages, so I'm getting all that together, and that'll be my value for my YouTube content.
Nice. That's awesome.
And so once I get that, I can send that to y'all, and y'all can get more information from there.
Okay, perfect. So I had someone who approached me a couple months back and was telling me that they were creating their own coin. And so one of the things that, Brian had told us was it needs to actually have purpose, and it needs to have vitality associated with that. And so when I asked them, I said, well, what is the purpose for your coin? And they were like, oh, just so people can exchange things locally. And I was like, oh, okay, well, why would someone want to get that, and how would that last? And they just really didn't know what I was talking about. And then maybe a couple days later, they were showing the guy who was selling the Chuck E. Cheese coins as Bitcoins. And so how can you tell the difference between a real coin and something, that's going to have vitality, that actually has purpose, versus something that's really a scam?
Yeah, so that's why I like to stay away from ICOs, because you don't know. You really don't have any kind of pre information unless you know the person, or they're putting their content on YouTube so you can see their face. So my line brother, he's actually created his own cryptocurrency, and so he's actually creating that at the moment. He's working on all his code, but what he's trying to do is to create an ecosystem that's driven by electricity, and so using workout bikes. So you're able to generate this electricity to mine your coins, and so you're actually able to do stuff like that. And that keeps people physically in shape. And so if it has something like that, then I'm like, I have a little bit more patience and to really understand. And plus, I know him, so I know it's gonna be successful. And I'll be sharing that more. We're working together right now, and I'll be sharing more information as I get more information. But I'm not really. I don't really like ICOs. I did one ICO. It was Electroneum, and I bought it at 1 cent, and it peaked at 19. But it's on exchanges now, so I trust it. I have a wallet, and I keep it safe. It's back at 1 cent right now. And so I should have sold it, but I kept it. So I'll wait another year and see what it does if it goes past 19 cents. So the $50 that I put in there, that made $4.50. So you can make really great money in cryptocurrency.
And so I know that one of the other things about that was that it isn't regulated, or what is the process in terms of regulation right now?
They're trying. Yeah, so they're trying to regulate it. They're in the process. They're trying to do a Bitcoin ETF. They're having that in the works. The Winklevoss twins, the ones that Mark Zuckerberg stole the Facebook idea from, they actually have their own exchange that's US based that they put out an ETF. It got denied, but they're trying to regulate it. It's so new right now. They're just kind of peeping the scene and letting things develop. But other countries are building on the blockchain quick, and if we don't get on it here, we're gonna get left behind as a country, because other places are uniting and putting their resources together. We're over here in the Stone Age, really, because we're just like, what is this? Like, it's like it's been around for 10 years and it's slowly taking their time, which I understand, because there's a lot of scams and a lot of stuff that scare people away, and they don't want the retail investor to get hurt. But it's like you kind of babying people, let people do their own research. And I actually like that it's not regulated, because I don't really see how you could regulate cryptocurrency, because it's on a blockchain and nobody can stop the technology. Say like they tried to shut down Bitcoin, or they said it was illegal. How could they really stop it? It's like really like marijuana. It's like they say it's illegal in a lot of places, but people still actually use it. And so people, I think if they tried to ban it, people would use it more, and it would have an even bigger effect. And then it would be legalized everywhere, as we see with the marijuana industry. So, and both of them are new and they're booming, and we're here for a ride. So those are my two main investment avenues at the moment.
Okay.
Because it's definitely a lot of good stuff coming out in at this time.
Okay. Well, I'll open it up for other people's questions. So if anyone else has any questions, I muted everybody because we were getting some background noise. So you may need to unmute yourself before you come in to ask your question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what's a blockchain?
So a blockchain is, so I'll use like a piece of paper, but it's stored on a cloud, it's stored on a network. So I'll use like a piece of paper. And so let's just call this the blockchain. All right. And so the blockchain is just a place to where they can keep track of their transactions. So A sends B 500 Bitcoin. So it'll say the date, time, the everything. So the blockchain is just like a piece of paper that's keeping all the transactions on.
Okay. So it's something like okay. It's where they actually keep track of. Let's say if we had 100 Bitcoins, you had 50, I had 50. If I traded 5 of mine to someone else, that means I got 45, they got 5, and you still got 50.
Yep. And when the transaction goes through, it all goes through at the same time. So when you see 50, when you see that money go, their account will do this at the exact same time.
Okay. I'll mess around and tell my age. But I seen something when I said I'd mess around and tell my age back doing when they had plantations. One plantation had currency, another plantation might have currency, and I couldn't, if I was doing business on one plantation, I couldn't take that currency and go to another plantation and do business.
Mm-hmm.
Then also in the military, like when we served, that's a perfect example. If you was in Korea or you was in Vietnam, we had something called script. I couldn't, my money that I had in Vietnam, I couldn't take it someplace else and trade or do business with it. Mm-hmm. I had to take it back to, Bank of America and get it transferred over so that I could do business there. And then when I left country, if all the money that I left on that account, that's how Bank of America got many dollars, because you had it on that account, and once you returned to the United States, you couldn't transfer it to American money.
Oh wow.
Mm.
I
You
didn't
had
know
to spend it, you know, where they had that script. So that,
that.
that's what this Bitcoin sound like. I mean, this is the first time I've been in a presentation, but that's what it semi sound like to me.
It's similar to that, but the only difference is actually borderless. So
Yes,
um
yes, yes,
so
yes. I
like you can
understand.
use British pounds, the yen, the US dollar, the franc, all and it's like they can all go into Bitcoin. So
Yes, yes, yes. It's a global trading currency.
yep.
Okay, yes.
Hmm.
All right. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Wallace.
Hi. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
This is Avi. I have a question. How diligent do you have to be in watching your Bitcoin? Is it like, you know, when you're day trading, you're constantly watching, monitoring, seeing if it drops, trying to figure out ways, when you need to sell, when you need to buy, or is it something that you can just set it and forget it?
It's either one. You can do both. So I'm actually learning the technical analysis side. So I'm actually about to start trading myself because you can capitalize so much with cryptocurrency because it's so volatile. And so that's one aspect of a way to make passive income. You can trade it, which you can do that from your house, and then you can fall asleep as long as you set your limits. And I'm working on that as well, getting a technical analysis book ready and all of that info. So we can go over that another time. But my strategy right now is to buy cryptocurrency in bulk as low as I can. So I set that and I leave it. I don't watch it. I watch Bitcoin because I just like looking at it every day. Like
Right, right.
it brings me some happiness, but I don't look at it to see if the price is going down. Like I don't care what the price does in the short term. I know in 2 years the price will be higher than it is now, and I'm okay with that. So you can actually use either avenue that you would like.
Right. Yeah. And like you said, it is super interesting. Like I've been watching a little bit on it, and I just wonder if it's something that you could just, set it up, because like you said, I kind of want to just see where it goes, and you get kind of nervous because it's like, oh, it's dropping real low, but you know I want something that I can just kind of leave it alone. If I watch it, I'll be scared,
Yeah,
and
and
I was
see,
just wondering if I could do it.
yeah, that's the thing with any financial market, the stock market, crypto, real estate. You can't look at the price every day if you don't have if you got the emotional attachment to the money. Like
Right.
I don't look at money the same way. I look at it as energy. And so if I put my money into stuff with good energy and good projects and stuff that I really like, that my spirit
That you
leads me
believe
to,
in.
I don't even think about it.
Hmm.
And so
Right.
that's what I try to do. I actually really try to find some stuff that I feel drawn to. And
See, and
so,
that makes so much sense. Okay.
mm,
All right. Any other questions? We got about 4 more minutes.
Is there like E-Trade or different brokerage houses that trade what you call it
Bitcoin.
Stocks.
Bitcoin, just like I could trade yens or trade other countries' currency?
Yeah, they don't have any US based ones outside of Coinbase. You can buy low and sell high on those. You can trade in Coinbase. That's a US based exchange. And then they have Binance, Cryptopia, Bittrex, BitMEX. They have so many different exchanges where you can actually do that, and you can add in all the trading, everything that you want to do. My exchange of choice will be Binance when I start trading crypto.
Okay.
Wow, this is some amazing information. This is just our first one, so very exciting. What I did want to ask everyone, so the worksheet that we had, the point of the worksheets that we are presenting is so that way we have these tools that we can use. And by no means is it saying, are you coming out becoming a cryptocurrency expert or anything like that. It just gives you a framework, another wealth worksheet to be able to talk to people about. So did anyone have any questions on anything that was on the worksheet? We're all good on that?
Cool.
Okay, good, good, good. So I wanted to just say a couple little things really quickly on there. So under where it says like, what is blockchain? And it talks about the dinosaurs are disappearing. This is just talking about how the way of the world is changing. Whereas, you know, before we had Kodak, and now we're looking at Kodak stocks and everything like that. The company's nearly disappeared because of something like Instagram, because we have cell phone cameras and things of that nature. So Kodak and the need even to print out pictures has become nearly obsolete. Same types of things. Taxi is now highly, you know, in competition with Uber, where individuals could now become their own taxi, where they can pick when they, you know, they want to be on versus being off. And it has, you know, caused the taxi industry to go into distress. And most people don't even think I'm going to call a taxi. They say I'm going to call an Uber, or I'm going to, you know, call whatever other service they're going to have. Same type of thing with hotels. Even though the hotel industry is still hanging on strong, people have been able to say, I'm going to get rid of the middleman, and just now you can come and stay in my home with Airbnb. And so we're seeing these dinosaurs that are disappearing, and the same type of thing is happening as it results with currency. So we're seeing how there's these huge changes where people say, we don't have to worry about the government's regulating. We don't have to worry about the banks government, you know, regulating it. How the price of a yen versus a dollar isn't necessarily a factor right now for us, because we'll put it into cryptocurrency and we won't have to go through that whole exchange process. And also we won't have to pay the taxes associated with exchanging the money. So like here in the United States, if you bring home, if you travel and you come back with $10,000, you have to declare that. And then it now becomes something that is potentially taxed. Whereas with cryptocurrency, you can take your, you know, 50,000 American dollars, convert it into cryptocurrency, come into the country or return back to the country from your trip, vacations, whatever, and it's not regulated. They can't tax you on that money. So it has created a lot of issues with the governments, because they're like, whoa, we can't tax this. And people are now getting rid of that middleman and able to keep more of their money. So when, you know, in my econ, we're about keeping more of our money. So this is definitely involved in that. Under that same square, when it talks about minnows versus the ocean. So when we think about, okay, if we have a minnow versus the ocean, minnows are really tiny, the ocean is huge, right? Same kind of thing. Facebook may be something we interact with, but when we think about the internet as a whole, it's much bigger. Okay, so same kind of thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a little tiny piece in this whole, you know, aspect of the blockchain. And then within the layers of involvement, he went into that for sure. Thank you on that. But these are just different types of areas that you could get involved with this, whether it's investing retail, investing wholesale, the initial coin offerings, that's those ICOs that he discussed earlier, just doing trading within that, mining the blockchain, and then investing in the distribution. So whereas at one point in time we just saw ATMs, there's now something very similar to an ATM that is involved with cryptocurrency. So where you could actually do the exchanges, and that is starting to develop more and more in different places. So this form, this worksheet is so that you have it. Again, you'd let people know, you know, do you know anything about cryptocurrency? Well, this is what we're talking about here. This is another way for you just to be able to introduce some financial literacy information and get people more interested in my econ. So wanted to make sure you guys had this and that you had it filled out, so then you can also just print out the blank ones. You can see what I did last week with the worksheet that we had. Threw it up on Facebook, did a quick presentation, messed up on the first one, so I had to erase that one. But this is a way to definitely be involved in attraction marketing and still educating the public. Okay.
There actually, and it's 7 or 8 Bitcoin ATMs right here in Dallas, so it's growing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are past our time. Are there any other questions?
I have one more. So if y'all want more information, can you send me an email with everybody's email, and I
So
can.
I can't legally send you everyone's email, but I can send your information out to them.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
Okay.
and then y'all can get in contact with me, and I can send you the cryptocurrency document that I mentioned earlier, so you can get more information and go from there.
Perfect. All right. So I will do that after we get here. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. If you missed the beginning, just go ahead and check your back office for meeting announcements and locations. Also for next week, we are going to have Kevin Young as our guest instructor. And so he's going to be talking to us about Social Security, being able to help sponsor and recruit individuals who are retired or near retirement, and answering a lot of those questions related to that. So you want to make sure you're on for that call as well. I hope you guys have absolutely wonderful night, an amazing week. Make sure you're getting out there and talking to people about MyEcom. Make it a goal to talk to 2 people every single day. Put them into the pipeline, get them into those 5 Ps, peak and pass and prospecting and presenting and plugging and promoting. So we want to be on top of all that. You guys have a wonderful night.